Welcome to the Market Update Desk. Scott Riley and Mortgage One. October 10th, we're back at work. The market is open today. As everybody knows, we had the attack on Israel, and we have the conflict going on in the Middle East now. What that generally does is typically creates a run to the strongest investment, or what's called a flight to strength. And that generally is considered the 10-year bond market, the United States 10-year bond. So we're seeing significant improvement in the 10-year bond today, which is definitely giving us an uplift for better mortgage rates. So I want to go through what's going on today and take a moment that we're taking a pause and praying for a positive development, that people stay safe. Throwing prayers out to those that are involved with that conflict, and hopefully a resolution quicker than later. So let's go into what's going on. Multiple Fed members spoke tomorrow to try to quell the market. And also we took the weekend to do a deep dive into the jobs numbers that were Friday, and kind of what we talked about before. There's definitely some holes in it. We want to go through that with you today. So over the last few days, we heard from Fed Vice Chair Philip Jefferson, Dallas Fed President Lori Logan, San Francisco President Mary Daly, and Fed Governor Michelle Bowman. Everyone but Bowman acknowledged that the bond market has been doing some of the tightening for them, and there may not need to be a hike again in the future. Bowman, on the other hand, was the sole contradictory statement. And she said she wants a couple more hikes and think the economy is still very resilient, and wants more information on what she thinks is a very strong labor market. Clearly, she's seeing the headlines from the labor market and other things, but not, it appears to be doing deep dives into it because what she's saying doesn't line up with the data. So we're seeing still dissension, but it is getting louder between the doves and the hawks. And it seems that the doves are starting to win out on those conversations, which is a great thing for the mortgage market. What we talked about on Friday is why the jobs report seemed very odd. So like I said, we did do a deep dive into it, and I wanted to go through what my notes were from that. We found it interesting that the raw data from the BLS report showed 885,000 job losses as opposed to seasonally adjusted figure of 336 gains. Seasonal adjustments are normal and help to smooth out the data, but they're not always done correctly. For example, of the job gains, 70,000 were from teachers, but that should be seasonally adjusted out because teachers normally, obviously, go back to work in the late fall. So retail job gains totaled 20,000 on the BLS report, but looking at reports like the Challenger Job Cuts report, it showed a big rise in retail layoffs. Leisure and hospitality were up significantly in the jobs report, but once again, oddly, occupancy for travel and leisure fell sharply. So how do we have a decrease in consumers seeking that item, but an increase in jobs? Those don't go together. Some things, just aren't jiving in the report. Actually, the economy lost a ton of jobs, but it was seasonally adjusted higher, but 1.2 million. These things need to be addressed. Now, looking at the household survey, there were only 86,000 job gains, which matched up very closely with the ADP report. And that's really the reason why unemployment stayed flat at 3.8% instead of going down. If we had 330 job gains, we'd see a decrease in unemployment. That's from the headline report. The household report runs the unemployment number. So keep looking further. Additionally, all of the job gains came from part-time workers. Full-time employment is now down 692,000 over the last 3 months alone. And that is 3 times what we saw in declines in the past, which were '01, '08, and in COVID, which all led to recessions. So, and there was also a big jump in multiple job holders. So, and I'm going to post some graphics on these questions that we had within the job report. And that may also be a reason why the bond market is reacting positively today. After it got past the shock and awe of showing 330 job gains and running with that, it also took the weekend, the traders, to look at what's going on within the report and why did we show X when the data is showing Y. So let's look at some technicals of the market. The Dow, Nas, and S&P are all jumped today. And once again, equities are considered a flight to safety, just like the bond market internationally. So right now, the bond market, mortgage-backed securities, that is up 71 basis points, and the 10-year is down all the way to 4.61, which is down 18 basis points. That is a monster drop in one day. The other thing that's probably happening on the other side of all this is, as we've talked about, right now we're going through the biggest bond short in history. So a lot of these traders are trying to cover their butt on the shorts that they had on the 10-year. And that's why we're also seeing a drop in it. Now, obviously, when we have the substantial geopolitical actions and activities that are going on, we can get a lot of volatility. So where this leads, we'll have to play this out over the rest of the week. Tomorrow is going to be a very big day. We get the Fed minutes from the last meeting. Keep in mind what we indicated, that is some dated material, but also we get inflation reports Wednesday and Thursday. Consumer price index first, and then producer price index, the retail and the wholesale. We have seen WTI oil up today, which is a change from the decrease that we've seen over the last 3 or 4 days. Now, keep in mind, these inflation numbers are a month old. So looking back 4 weeks ago, we had spikes in oil prices. So where these inflation reports come in, we're very concerned about. Not sure which way this is going to go. We will keep you updated as quick as we can here. Give us a call. We just got a client approved on their first offer on a home with a VA loan over the weekend. The power of our information at the Market Update Desk and Mortgage One helped them secure that offer and get it under contract. So right now is a fantastic time to buy. The competition is slightly less, and we can help get you that house under contract. Give us a call, 616-293-2189.